Well, here we go again. Another new guitar day. It's early in the morning. So this was another trip to the USA to pick it up, because again they wouldn't ship to Canada. This is a very heavy container box. It's a very big box, very rigid, very hard, very good shipping container. So we have a GIGBAG in a box, a few pieces of foam, neck support, one loose, one glued, more loose pieces of foam. Alrighty, let's see what we got in the bag. The bag is pretty good. It's at least a half an inch in the front. A little bit less in the back, I think. Alright, we got a pocket. Nothing in it. Keep that there for now. And let's see what this is like. Hopefully there's no damage. It's a 100-mile journey to go and pick this up each way. Now this is a brand I haven't had before, even though it's a Les Paul style. It's a brand I haven't had before. Ooh. It looks black on camera, but it's actually a very, very deep purple. And the front is a very pretty tiger purple. And this looks whitish, but it's actually beige. We have some candy. Alright, standard tune-o-matic. The pots are smooth. Okay. Now we get a nice tag on the headstock, similar to the Harley Benton's. A thick cardboard. And this brand is GROTE. Not GROTE, but GROTE. And so the back has the matching colors on this one. So this is pretty nice looking. I just need some glasses to be able to take a close-up look. But first let me show you the front of this bag. Nice, eh? It's stitched gold. Looks yellow, but it's gold. It's probably just because the lights are bright, but it's gold. Very nice. All right, let's see what the close-up looks like with these glasses on. The body is not as clean as it could be. There's little things everywhere. Some sticky stuff that probably just needs to come off. It'll come off with a buffing. I can see a lot of the buffing wheel marks. That looked nicer in the photograph than it actually does because of that, but if I can buff that out with the compound and then get the wax on it, it might come up better. The fretboard, can't remember what it was supposed to be, but it's got a lot of gray, whitish stuff in it. I don't know if it's going to come out at all on the camera, but yeah, there it is. See all that little white stuff reflecting in the light? That's interesting. The that logo, or that yeah, the logo is nice. GROTE, Perloid, and their, you know, whatever they call this thing, in pearl. It's probably just a sticker under the poly, but it's nice. Standard tuners. They've got the large buttons. Let's see. That's fairly positive. Oh, that one's not. Okay, so they're going to be hit and miss. The first one was positive. Switch feels good. I don't know if it's a box or not, but typically you'd want the standard Gibson style on here. It doesn't have the cutaway here, so it's a standard thick down there. The action is set high at the moment. Truss rod, a little bit, it's got relief, but not what I like. Oh, and luckily they didn't pit the surface with the screw. Yay, another one that they didn't pit with the screw. The screw is quite long though. They mounted this quite high to keep it off the surface, which is good. However, you know, I can fix that. If I'm sitting like that, yeah, I'll change that so that the pickguard sits more flat. At the moment it's got an angle up on it, which is, it's almost flat, or perpendicular to the top, parallel to the top, let's say. It just needs to be down a tiny bit more. And that would mean drilling a hole slightly below that one, but the bracket would cover it up. Yeah, okay. The fret ends are very nice because they're bald. All the way up and down. They're not covered by the binding. But yeah, they're rounded. And they're quite shiny. I don't know if these are stainless steel, because typically the stainless steel comes looking shiny like that. If they're stainless steel, that's quite the bonus, because typically the nickel, copper nickel they look sort of orange and not shiny usually, but these are very shiny in the light. See, look. Yeah. It's like they've already been polished, although the fretboard is definitely got white stuff in it. That I might be able to get that out with naphtha, and then when I put the lemon oil on it, hopefully that'll get covered up. If it doesn't come out with the naphtha, I'll try a little bit of Old English to turn them brown. The nut is the style that has the curved top on it. They're much easier to work with than the flatter top ones. That means that these have a natural back angle to them. Sometimes they're not deep enough. But to put a little bit of an extra cut on there on the back angle is not that difficult. The high E string, yeah, oh, it's sitting in deep enough that it won't pop out. At the moment, the action too high it doesn't seem like it's going to be too far off. They're probably going to need to come down on a couple of them a little bit. I think this is supposed to be a bone nut. I hope it is. It's been polished. And sometimes when it's polished like that, it's hard to tell whether they're PVC or bone. Okay. The next step for this will be to the bench, do some setup work, plug it in and see what the pickups sound like, and make a determination of whether or not those pickups will remain or will they be substituted. See you in the next clip. Okay, Mr. GROTE has passed the bench initial setup of action at the 17th fret. The nut is too high. That'll have to come down. The tuners are better than average budget guitars. This is a $200 US, so it's 260 bucks Canadian. These top hat knobs work okay on this one because these pots are not as tight as some others. The pickups come in at 10 and 10, which is almost exactly like what the Firefly FLPS dark pink did. And it sounds a lot like that one, for sure. Bridge. Now the bridge is not bad on its own. It's not adjusted. I never looked at that. It's a little bit too high. It's a little bit too high on that side. It's probably a little bit too high on this side. Just by a turn. The other one, yeah, okay. We'll leave it where it is. So the 10 in the bridge is not bad. So that's a little bit warm and muddy-ish. Even more muddy-ish than the Artec pickup that I put in Tony the Tiger. Okay, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't like the neck. I'm pretty sure I've got a problem up here with frets. Even though they're shiny and stainless steel, I think it's these factory strings. They're grinding out a little bit. Oh, I'm getting black. Yeah. So the typical black from, you know, factory strings. I don't think that the pickup would sound any better than it does now with D'Addarios on it. The bridge might. And I may pair it with something that I have. So we're going to see. The body finish is pretty good. We'll look inside the cavities and we'll see where we go. This one has the made in China sticker on it. And it has some kind of a GROTE serial number on the back of it. Starts with a 2022, so it looks like it was made last year sometime. I'm very happy they didn't pit the top of this guitar because another clear pick guard will end up on this one. So okay, next steps are going to be pondering what I think I'm going to do to upgrade the pickups. Of course, I'm going to change my bridge. I'm going to check that nut to see that it's bone. If it is, I'm going to cut it down. It's nice that there's not a lot of poly on the nut. The poly seems to stop at the binding and not go over the nut. So that would be easier to get it out when you're trying to cut the poly here. When it's over the edges, sometimes it cracks because it's yellowing when it's on there. So without it being there, you can just run your knife, but typically that should pop straight back off of there pretty easily. But yeah, the finish is pretty good. Surprisingly, the tuners are relatively smooth. Oh, and this one has the volute here at the base of the headstock. Who knows if there's a scarf joint because it's all dark purple. I don't think we're going to have to do a lot on it. We'll see what's going on in here. See if I like the switch that's in there. The front feels good. Alrighty. We'll see where we go from here. Catch you in the next clip.